But no, hey, so you mentioned if the appraisal goes well. Let's say you have a listing.
The old appraisal.
Yeah, let's say you have a listing.
We
you
can
have
say
it on
that.
the market, right? Yeah, you have a few listings. So you have it on the market. The appraisal comes back lower than what the listing price is. What do?
I put a hit out on the appraiser. No, that only happened once.
That's a joke.
Yeah. So the appraisal comes in light, which, hey, from time to time it happens. The appraisal is a third party. It's an extension of the loan process. If you're paying cash, no appraisal. But if you're borrowing money from a bank, they want to make sure their investment's sound. So an appraisal's ordered, and the lender and appraiser don't talk, which has actually made it easier because whether I'm representing the buyer or seller, you still got to tell your client, no matter who you're representing, that, hey, it came in light. You know, the buyer finds out before you as an agent, but as a listing agent, I find out before my seller. But anyway, doesn't matter. You still have to explain to them that, you know, and they'll say, hey, can I see a copy of it? There are people who've had success at protesting appraisals. I'm not one of them. I mean, most of the time, the recourse is the seller to either drop the price or the buyer to bring additional monies to closing. Buyers are sometimes hesitant because even though I can show them comps of like, hey, it's selling for 100 a square foot, like easy all day, and this is 98, it's worth it. We do the contract. Comes in at 96 a square foot. They short us $7,000. It's a tough pill to swallow for the buyer who's bringing money to the table. It's like, hey, you're about to buy something that's valued less than what, you know, previously you thought. And again, appraisers are great at what they do. I'm not knocking them. They're a little bit sometimes behind with
The market.
the trend. Because I mean we're on the tip of the spear. We're real, you know, sound real noble here, but we're kind of like agents. We see. I remember in 2013 when things started like appreciating. I mean, it was like March of 2013, April of 2013. We're at the water cooler back when people were in the offices, and I was like, hey, are prices going up? Or, you know, or like, are you seeing stuff? You know, because 09, 10, 11 was just bloody with all the distressed properties. But yeah, 13 things just started like. So, you know, appraisers look at 6 months comps and they're kind of trailing. So again, what is the truest definition of value? What is someone willing to pay for it?
Right.
But again, so with the appraisal comes in light most of the time, and I might get crap for saying this, the seller ends up taking it in the shorts. Because what are they going to do? Go back on the market after being off the market 3 weeks? An agent like me is going to look at the archive and be like, oh, that property was under contract for 24 days. Wonder what happened. Because if I see it was under contract for 7 days and back on the market, I'm thinking inspection. Something happened in the inspection. And I don't call the listing agent. I call the buyer's agent. Because on HAR, at least, we have to assign what agent got the property under contract. Buyer's agents who bust out of contracts, they're very talkative to other agents. Because we were, a few hours away from closing. Now I'm back out showing homes again in the 102-degree heat. Which is cool. It's part of the game. It's part of the business. So instead of calling the listing agent, he's like, "Oh, they got transferred. Oh, they flaked out. They're needy." Or then I call the buyer like, "Did you see the back room, the east room? Look up at the ceiling next time you go. You know, you hear. So if it's a condition thing, or they'll say, "Oh my God, the roof's, the rafters and the joists," and you know, you'll get the true story from the buyer's agent who had it under contract. But if it's 22, 24 days, like 3 weeks into the deal, a week away from closing, busts out, probably an appraisal. Call the buyer's agent and like, hey, this home that's listed at $300,000, what happened? Like this home on 1234 Main Street. And the agent's like, it didn't appraise. Oh yeah? And, you know, $8,000 under. Do you mind sharing what price you had? You know, like,
Yeah.
Some agents won't open up, you know. Well, here's the thing. So as a seller, you say, no, I'm not dropping the price. And the buyer's like, I don't have any additional money. It's like, cool, let's part as friends. Get your earnest money back to the buyer. You go back on the market. Now you have to renegotiate another deal, another contract term, renegotiate. Go through another set of inspections, which this inspector is going to be a little different than the other one.
Yeah.
The buyers are going to be different.
Yeah.
Let's say you made 3 or 4 repairs. That's why I don't like doing repairs. We do money.
So I guess it's,
let's
depends
go
on-
to repairs next. Can we remind me? Let's talk about repairs after this. So what are you going to do? Go back on the market, renegotiate a new deal, start showing the home again, basically start square one again, then go through another set of inspections, only to what? Have another arm's length appraisal, a total third party random appraiser. It could come in at the same price. It could come in higher. It could come in lower. So the buyer, even if it is past the option period, which is the unrestricted right to terminate the first 7 or 10 days or whatever you write in the paragraph 23, if the home doesn't appraise and they won't lower, you have the right to get to back out of the deal.
Right.
Like the home appraising is part of the third party financing. So it's just it's a crapshoot for a seller if to do that. It's very risky. So, and
I guess it depends on how motivated that seller is, right?
Yeah, but the longer you're on the market, very rarely do you get more money the longer you're on the market.
Right.
And then, once you start doing price drops, the market's, buyers like, oh, they made one price drop. How about another? So, somebody can pay for another appraisal. Actually, I don't think the seller can just, hey, Tom, go come appraise my house and use it. I believe the lender can order another appraisal, but the buyer's going to have to pay for it. But with FHA appraisals, if I'm not wrong, they're assigned a case number, and that appraisal sticks with that property for 90 days. Again, not even a lender here, right? Okay, not a scientist, not a lender, but so that might be a little stickier. They happen from time to time, man. It's just best to try to work it out. Sometimes I have homes where I'm like, hey, the more rural you get, like, Needville's not as rural as it used to be. Sorry.
Yeah. Watch it, man.
Like ghost. Yeah, Needville's not as rural as it used to be, but anytime there's a neighborhood or land, I mean, in Harvest Green, I can run you comps all day long and get within like $2 a square foot pinpoint, especially once I come to the property. I can guess within $5 to $10 of what your home's going to eventually sell for. Mm-hmm. But if you have like 3 acres, 2,200 square foot home, 2 outbuildings, and then you have to go 4 miles away to find that similar property 6 months, the last 180 days is sold. It's a lot trickier to do comps and appraisals in areas that aren't like subdivisions or master plan communities where, oh, that's the exact home, that's the exact builder, it's the exact floor plan. There's 3 of them.
Yeah. So when you run comps, you do like, what, you do the same size, same lot size, year built.
I do 5 years below, and so built in 2005. I'm searching for 2000 to 2010 builds. If it's over 2,000 square feet, there used to be a rule like do 300 square feet above and below if it's under 2,000 square feet, or if it's 3,000 square feet and above, you do 500 above and 500 below. I toy with it. I'm a little wild. I do 400 feet sometimes. I do whatever I need to do to get a good sample. So sometimes I get on a map and I might do a radius and keep pulling out until I get enough. Try to do the same subdivision, definitely. The square footage,
and you
year
want
range.
3 sold, 3 on market, or compared?
Yeah, when I do comps, I do actives, pendings, and sold. The appraiser's just going to do sold, right? Because they're just trying to establish value. List price and pending is just pie in the sky. Like that, those numbers don't matter to them. But to me, and I like showing days on market, because there might be an active home that's priced at 120 a square foot that's been on the market 150 days.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here showing all the sold comps at 105 a square foot.
Yeah.
And when I give that to somebody, I'm like, what's the story? What are these numbers telling us?
Right.
So, and then you see under contract. If I see 3 active homes and 3 pending, that's telling us just 60-day inventory, right? Because 30 days later, those 3 pendings are going to be cleared off. Mm-hmm. The 3 actives hopefully will be pending, and there'll be 3 new entries, right? So that's a 60-day inventory, and that's pretty rapid. But if something like, hey, you should be under contract in 30 days. So this one's been on the market 150 days, and they're priced at 120, and all the sales are happening between 103 and 107. What do you think? It's...
Is that like the rule of thumb? So if you have it appropriately priced, then you should be under contract in 30 days?
In certain markets. I mean, you can have a subdivision that's across the street from each other, and One might have a 30-day supply and one might have a 90-day supply. So, I mean, especially when you're talking about different school districts or different high schools.